When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
So here it is. We have patch 2.02. The patch notes is finally here, and we're going to be taking a look at everything that they've done. They did the little thing a day ago where they were talking about the direction that they want to go in, and that kind of scared players a little bit. There were some questions there as well, and hopefully the patch notes will clear up a lot of that. That is, in fact, what the patch notes are supposed to do, right? Clear up the madness. So this is in Japanese. If we translate it, because the English Twitter account hasn't uploaded just yet. So main contents: battle adjustments, addition of a Tekken Fight Lounge features, and additional shop items. There's accounts on Twitter that data mines the game and brings all of this stuff to the surface. So when they do that, we will take a look at that as well. You guys can just subscribe and stay tuned for that. For the Tekken shop, the Dragunov Costume 1 and Panda Costume 1 and Kuma Costume 1 will be added to the game. And basically what this is Dragunov's Tekken 5 outfit, and then Panda and Kuma hamster and bear outfit from Tekken 7. They also are doing the Kuma Costume 5 color set, and this is basically will give you the ability to change the color of their fur. Now, I don't know if you will be able to put clothes and stuff over the colored fur. We'll have to see when that happens, but that's what they're doing here. You also have the Karate Kid Legends hoodie, which is now being added to the game. Also, they're doing the stage ads. You know, the New York stage will have Karate Kid all over it for probably about a month. They want you to go watch the movie. You guys can go and do that. Tekken Special Deal Event. During the event period, selected items will be available at special prices. Okay, so they're also doing this thing as well where previous things that was in the store are coming back, but this time for a deal. So you could get like half off, 20% off, whatever the case may be. Tekken Fight Lounge. Commands in Battle feature implementation. A new feature called Command in Battle will be implemented in the following Ghost battles. Oh, this is Ghost Battle. Online Ghost Battle will be available in Tekken Showdown. Ghost versus Ghost battles initiated by speaking to others players. Command Battle is a new feature that allows you to issue a follow of 6 real-time commands to your ghost. So basically, you will be able to tell your ghost what to do. Like, do your rage art, use scrub, spam your heat, hatchet kick. So this is just something, because I do know someone who likes the ghost versus ghost, and they say it's cool to watch their ghosts fight against other ghosts. And it seems like there's a lot of people out there who do actually like that, and they're playing into it with this update. They want it to be more interactive, where you could tell your ghosts a cool idea that you had, and then it follows through. They talk a little bit more about ghost versus ghost, but I'm going to skip that part. You guys can pause and read if you're one of those players who like the ghost versus ghost. New feature: wait on standby in lounge. While seated at an online match cabinet, excluding online practice, and waiting for a match, you can now select wait on standby in lounge for practice menu. While in matchmaking standby, you can check around the cabinets or communicate using chat preset messages. If you select practice while standby, again using wait on standby in the lounge, you will return to practice mode matchmaking. So it seems like you will be able to match make from the arcade cabinet, but you can also look in the lounge at the menus and whatnot. So basically this is, because I know there's a lot of people who like play in the arcade cabinets, and then they have like a group of friends watching and spectating. So maybe this is for those guys who you don't have to just sit at the practice menu and wondering what your friends is saying. You can exit out of that practice search screen and still be searching on the cabinet while interacting with the chat. So it seems like this is a good quality of life change, and a lot of people will appreciate this. 5 special ghosts with character panels. So this is the character panels that they're doing. They removed the previous 5 and they're adding a new 5 to the game. The collaboration film, so I talked about this, the Karate Kid collaboration. And then you also have, so for all online matches, follow and friend request options added to results screen. After an online match, shortcut buttons will be available on the results screen, so you can send a friend request to your opponent. To prevent accidental inputs during rematch standby, these buttons only become selectable when the rematch timer expires or the opponent leaves the results screen. So ranked match, rank points adjustment specification update. In ranked match, after a rank change occurs, the system will now compare both, 1, the rank change based on the rank at the same time of matchmaking, and 2, changed based on current rank after the rank shift, the more favorable outcome will be applied. I don't understand that, and I don't know if it's because I don't play ranked or if it's because I just don't understand. Previously, even if players were matched at the same rank, a difference in rank caused by the match results could lead to a higher ranked player earning fewer points than a win and losing more points for a loss in a rematch, discouraging rematches. This update aims to mitigate that issue. Okay, so I do understand that, right? They're trying to incentivize players to rematch, and that's kind of been the biggest problem of Tekken 8. It's like the game encourages you to leave because it's unfavorable and a lot of things that I will refuse to go into for now. But when you look at the actual patch, this is where things will hopefully get interesting. So we will skip this first section here because this first section is exactly what we read earlier with the rank policy. It's just here on the patch notes. Yeah, so it's all the same. So at the bottom it says voice effects, move list, eddy, heat dash. So these are just behavior changes, but the heat dash seems to be an interesting one. Adjusted an issue where under certain conditions performing a heat dash would cause the character to dash in opposite direction from opponent. So I think we just looked at a clip from that of that on Twitter a second ago, and they're already trying to fix that. It's one of those things where you block it, then you get hit from the back. So Alyssa only has one change here, and this is to her heat. And from the looks of it, this will be a universal change that is made to all of the characters, or most of the characters. Adjusted the tracking properties so that the follow-up attack no longer tracks the opponent when the first hit whips. So this is removing the tracking on all of the characters' heat, basically. But for Anna, they did something else where they reduced the tracking performance. Oh wait, this is the wait, performance of the second hit when the first hit whiffs. Why did they word it differently? But it's the same thing. But then they also nerfed Anna's down up 4-3-2 and her up 4-3-1. Adjusted the tracking property so that the follow-up attack can no longer track opponents. So they're trying to nerf her tracking, basically. And then they're also attacking the consumption of her heat timer on that move. That's something we could expect to see a lot of. But they don't classify this as a nerf, right? Even though it is kind of a nerf. During Chaos Judgment, take throw from opponents. So they're just adjusting a little bit of her frames there. For Asuka, she has the universal change, and then they also adjusted the opponent's behavior on block from the second hit. So it's blocked consecutively. What is this? I don't know what attack this is, but this seems like a nerf, but they're not classifying it as a nerf. Asuna has the universal change, and that's it. Brian Free, quarter circle 1+2. The hitbox has been expanded downwards, alleviating instances of whiffing on certain moves. And then other than that, he just has the universal change. Claudio has a lot here. Did they attack that hold move? Yes, I see it here. The hold. The attack hitbox has been reduced to mitigate unattended occurrences of hitting the opponents who are behind you. And the tracking ability against steps has been reduced. So hopefully that fixes it. We've seen many times where they say this has been reduced, that has been reduced, but then they do, you look at Twitter and people are still doing it. So hopefully that situation is repeating itself there, right? But then he also has these two nerfs here for his hold attacks where they're tracking a lot of stuff. They're changing a lot of stuff, changing his tracking, changing his frames from 14 to 12, some stuff there, right? Devil Jin, this is a character that people want to be buffed, and as you can see here, they're not doing that just yet. Maybe this is something that they were alluding to in a future update, but as you can see here, he just gets the universal health consumption change that they talked about. Dragunov, they expanded his hitbox downward. Is it that the quarter circle move that Ulsan was crashing out on Twitter about? They expanded the hitbox downward, so now it won't whiff under pretty much every mid in the game. So Ulsan probably will be happy about that. This is Eddie's Heat Smash, and they changed the tracking on it. And then Feng Wei, he got some unique changes here. On his back 4-2, they changed the opponent's behavior on counter hit. And the fact that this is a nerf, It probably, I don't know what this move is, but it probably was a launcher, or it probably did something like, guaranteed hit afterwards, and he probably won't be able to get that anymore. And then they also attacked his quarter circle forward 1, and they took off 2 damage for it. But if we take a look at the next character, this one. Okay. So for the next character, you have Harong, which has the down 3+4. The behavior has been changed on counter hit, in line with normal hits. Wow. For Jack, they gave him the universal change. Jin, he also has the universal change on both of his heat smashes. And then for Jin, for 2-1-4, they changed the behavior on counter hit. Jin Mains probably is going to be happy about that. For his Daring Zanskin up 2, they expanded the hitbox, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. So this is something that they talked about, where there's moves in the game that has a lot of crushing and they want to fix it. And this Jin move is one that I was thinking about in my mind, but you can see here that they did it. Kazuya just has the universal changes, same thing as Panda and Kuma. Lars, he has the universal changes, but he also has some so what is this? Down 2-2-3. Increase recovery time by 2 frames when a first hit is blocked or whiffs. Certain change advantage on block from 1 frame to -3. Tracking ability on the second hit has been reduced. Recovery time on the third attack has been increased by 1 frame. So they're clapping this move up like crazy, and they're trying to get you guys to stop spamming in the rank. Knock it off, they said. Forward 1. The recovery time on block has been changed. Wait, what? The opponent's recovery time when blocking has been reduced by 3 frames. Oh, so the frame advantage has been changed from +7 to +4. So that's actually good. I thought it was the other way around. Lars back 1 changed the opponent hit on counter hit. So it seems like counter hits are taking another nerf all around. And then Lars, they adjusted a lot of his stuff. A lot of his moves, from the looks of it, had it just crushed. And now that won't happen anymore. It won't crush. Law just has the universal changes. Well, actually, this dragon, during Dragon Charge 4, that's not a universal change, but they changed the counter hit to be a buff. So this is the first time where we see someone change to be a buff. Now, look at Lee. Look at the glorious changes here to Lee. From the looks of this, just generally looking at it, it's not universal changes. This is real meaningful changes. This is buffs that the players ask for. Now, whenever the developers do this, I have to always tell you guys that this is what you ask for. You guys ask for this character to be buffed. So if the character is too powerful, don't complain. Embrace it, little homie. So for Lee, wow, buffs everywhere. Changed the damage from 9 to 912. And then they adjusted the distance between characters when the first hit lands to reduce the occurrence where the second hit whiffs. I remember Fighting Jim telling me about that specifically. That's for his back 3-3. Damage changed from 17 to 20. That's back 4. The opponent's recovery time when blocking has been increased by 1 frame. The advantage on block has been changed from -14 to -13. Okay. Damage changed from 30 to 40. Adjusted the tracking properties so that the follow-up attacks no longer tracks. Okay. So that's his heat smash. He has a low heat smash, right? That's pretty crazy. 1, 2, 2, 3. The distance from the opponents have been reduced. Okay, so they're trying to fix the issues where he whiffs. That was a big issue. 2, 2, 3. The distance, so this is also making it to where he doesn't whiff. During heat down 1+2, they fixed the issue where players could evade a follow-up high attack at an earlier timer than intended after blocking. So, I'm a Yoshi main. When I look at these changes, I don't understand the full grasp of it, but I know that Lee was a big problem for everyone. So hopefully this is satisfy you guys. During heat and whatever that is. So this is Leo and Leroy. They just got universal changes that pretty much every character has. When we look at the last page, you see Lily. universal changes. They're adjusting her tracking. For Paul Phoenix, he has the universal change, but then they also are changing his Death Fist on Heat. The opponent's recovery time blocking has been reduced from 7 frames, from -7 to -13. You guys let me know if that is exactly Paul Phoenix Death Fist, because if that's so, that's huge. That can't be his Death Fist. I refuse. I refuse to believe. During Heat, forward, 2, 1+2. So they changed the consumption of heat, which is universal, but then they changed the damage, which is a nerf, by 5 attacks. For Reina, Shahid, and Steve Fox, and Victor, and Xiaoyu, and Yoshimitsu, all of these characters have universal changes, ranging from changing their attacks, their heat smashes to make it no longer track, but then they also change like Jiayu's hypnosis to where it consumes more heat. And then they also do the same for Yoshimitsu's during heat, Kincha 2, 1+2 hold. Which, I mean, I guess because it guard breaks, I don't know, that's weird. It's not that it's good or bad, but it's just so random, right? But Zafina, she has a lot of buffs. Why are they buffing Zafina like this? They buffed her health consumption. They changed it from 18 to 10. I don't know. That's terrifying. Zafina is pretty despicable in season 2, and them change it. That's big changes too. From 18 to 10 and then 24 to 18. That's no small thing across many of her attacks. Wow. But maybe it was too punishing though. Maybe because it says health consumption, right? So maybe whatever she was doing was consuming too much health and she was dying from it. Me as a Yoshimitsu, I can relate, but also that's kind of what you sign up for. You guys in the chat, let me get a 1 out of 10 out of this, of how you feel about this update. 1 out of 10. I mean, in my opinion, this is exactly what I feared it would be, which is not addressing the real issues. We know that 50/50s dominates this game, and I mean, like, it's still, from the look, from what I can see with my own Yoshi eyes, it's still unplayable. And now we have to wait until the next update to see if they can really, like, meaningfully. I mean, they did some good stuff. Every update they did so far has been good, where they've been, you know, attacking the problems, doing this, correcting that, but it's just not enough is what players want.